Alright, everybody. Welcome to Face Off. I'm Junior.
You got me, Eddie.
And today, we're going to just get right to it. The 135 division. This is episode 1. Let's go.
So, let's talk about who's the best. Who has the most power? Who has the most speed? First of all, I'm going to talk about Teofimo Lopez just because he's the undisputed champion. I think he has the most power out of the whole 135-pound division. What do you think?
Definitely. I feel like Teofimo, he has power, he has speed. I think out of all of them, bro, I think he is definitely the complete package. Like, if I'm being 100, he's the complete package.
I think he lacks a little bit on defense side. He gets hit a lot. Lomachenko kind of proved it towards the later rounds. So I think he lacks a little bit on defense, but his offense is incredible. I think he has the best offense in the 135-pound division right now. But he lacks a little bit on, even though he does keep his distance pretty good. Towards the end, he was getting hit with like 4 or 5 punch combinations.
Yeah, but then again, Lomachenko, man. That's Lomachenko.
Yeah, no, that's true. Lomachenko was almost pound for pound until he lost to Teofimo, so we can't put him out of the conversation that he's not one of the GOATs there. But yeah, so then let's talk about Lomachenko. I think his best attributes is his IQ in the ring, the way he moves, the way he angles. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's definitely the most skilled as far as they call him the Matrix for a reason. The dude has angles, he slips like no other, man. Like, we've never seen anything like him. And even though he dropped that loss to Teofimo, I still have him number 2 out of the squad because I can't put him number 1 because he took an L to Teofimo, but I got him number 2 because he's still the top dog. And until proven that he's not, then, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of excuses, but I truly believe that that he was hurt, man. Something was definitely wrong with him in that fight. That shoulder, I don't know, but I believe it. What do you think?
No, yeah, I totally agree. He didn't look like himself the first half of the fight. He started off really slow. I feel like if he would have started a little faster, he would have won that fight. Maybe Teofimo's power kind of pushed him apart a little bit. He was scared to come in. But I think, he did look a little off. I don't know if he was hurt. He had an injury. What was his injury?
I don't know. Something about the shoulder. I didn't really look into it too much. I just saw that he posted a little Instagram post about it. But I don't know. But I think you're right on the Teofimo. He was really active in those first rounds, throwing a lot of jabs, keeping him from coming in. So I think that had a lot to do with it as well. But I do think something was definitely wrong with Lomachenko, man.
Yeah, because he's usually known to coming in with pressure, coming in with angles, and he wasn't doing that. He was actually
relentless.
Yeah, he was like going back.
Yeah,
he was going back. Teofimo was pressing the fight. Usually he doesn't go back a lot. He'll go back, but then he'll use his angles to come in. And this fight, he was going back the full 6 rounds. That's why I was like, I don't know, maybe that was his game plan, but at the end of the day, that game plan didn't work. Even though it was a close fight, probably could have went either way. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely, man. So we got Teofimo, we got Lomachenko. Those are the 2 dudes we talked about right now. But we got a loaded division, bro.
Oh, it's loaded.
We got heavy hitters. We got skilled fighters, bro. I'm excited about the future of boxing, especially because of this division itself, man.
Yeah, this division is totally keeping boxing alive. Because before it was the heavyweights with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, but now there's
the welterweights.
Yeah, all the welterweights too, but the heavyweights kind of brought a little bit more excitement to the sport. Yeah. But no, the 135-pound division right now is looking really skilled because we also got Ryan Garcia, who has the most followers out of everyone right now. He just passed Canelo, so he's one of the best in social media right now, and boxing too, because he just beat Luke Campbell, and even though he got dropped, he came back and he stopped him in a body shot. Yeah,
let's talk about him next. Okay. He proved me wrong. I thought he was gonna take an L to Luke. He came back from that KO, dude. Like, that was That was a clean knockdown, bro. I thought he was hurt. He was legit hurt. You know, Luke, he didn't go after him. We don't know why. There could be so many reasons, but he didn't go after him, and that was it. But hey, Ryan came back. He came back in that third round. He was throwing. He was going after him. And Ryan definitely proved that he is a top dog in the 135s. And Teofimo said it himself. He's like, out of all the 35s, the only ones that have stepped up are him and Ryan Garcia. And that's true. They're the only ones that have stepped up. Because he fought Luke Campbell. And Teofimo said that's a legitimate guy at 135. And Teofimo fought Lomachenko. Everybody else, Devin Haney, all them dudes coming up haven't really stepped up. I mean, who has Devin Haney fought? We can talk about him next. Who has he fought? And I know Tank is a world champion, but who has he fought? You can't really name guys. Pedraza, I give him credit for Pedraza. A washed up Gamboa with the torn Achilles. I mean, come on.
Okay, so about the fight with Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia. So yeah, Luke Campbell knocked him out and he didn't really finish. He went back to kind of his Olympic style, like still like being careful. Ryan Garcia was hurt. He looked hurt. If he would have pressed a fight, he probably could have knocked him out again or done more damage to him. Yeah. He went back to his Olympic style, kind of still going back, trying to counter. And also with Pedraza, he gets credit for that, but Pedraza was at a lower weight class. So I seen that he had to lose weight for that fight. So he also wasn't at his best. But now I still have Luke Campbell as one of the top, not one of the top, but like in the best at 135. Because he did knock out Ryan Garcia, and I feel like if he would have actually pressed the fight a little more, he could have done more damage.
But does he have it in him?
That's the thing.
Mean, yeah, he's Luke Campbell. Definitely, he gets credit for being one of the top dudes at 135.
He's the only one that knocked out Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, that's true. But like, man, bro, you're a fighter. I'm a fighter. When you have someone hurt, do you sit back like that?
I mean, you go after them. Yeah, exactly. Especially in that fight, it was that big.
That magnitude.
Like, yeah, like especially if you're fighting Ryan Garcia, like most likely if you go to decision, you're not gonna get that fight.
Exactly.
So yeah, he needed to go after him, and he didn't do it. But I don't know, maybe
his background definitely gets him to be on the top of the 35s.
Olympic gold medalist, and
and I mean he's had 2 world title challenges, which he did good in both. He went decision, and Ryan Garcia stopped him, man. That's why you got to give him credit.
Yeah, I do give him credit. That was a good body shot. He kind of faked the head and bam, went to the body. So that was a good body shot. But again, Luke Campbell, he was in that fight. It was a close fight till he got dropped. So if it went to decision, maybe if he would have, towards the later rounds, he was really not throwing much anymore. But maybe if he would have picked it up again, it could have been a good decision. Could have went either way. But that's why I still have him as one of the top 135s. He's probably towards the end after that loss to Ryan Garcia, but he's towards the top. And talking about David Haney, didn't he fight Richard Comley?
No, he didn't fight him.
So he really hasn't fought anyone at the top?
Not that I can think of. Teofimo's actually the one that fought Richard Comley.
Oh yeah, Teofimo there. That's true.
So
yeah, Teofimo's definitely at the top.
Yeah. Teofimo, I give him credit. He beat that Asian dude, bro. I'm sorry for calling him Asian dude, but I don't know his damn name, and he's fucking good. He just knocked out Verdejo.
Yeah.
So Teofimo has definitely, out of all the dudes coming up right now, he has the best resume.
He does.
But bro, we gotta talk about it. The sleeper in the division is Shakur Stevenson. Mad talent. One of the most composed, one of the most relaxed, skilled boxers in the division. And his IQ, bro, can you talk about that? His IQ is ridiculous. Like, that dude knows his boxing. Like, he's in that ring, and he's at home, bro. Like, I look up to that he has.
Yeah, I feel like his best attribute is keeping his distance, being able to hit and not get hit. He's always in the right place in the ring. He's never like too close or too far back. He knows exactly where he is in the ring. So he's able to just move back just a little bit and counter you. He's his distance
and his defense is ridiculous as well.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of people don't give him credit for his defense, but he doesn't get hit a lot. And he looks like he's just chilling.
He's chilling.
It's crazy, man. I think people sleep on Shakur the most out of the division. I know that I don't think he's a full 35 yet, but I think he's coming up. He hasn't really fought 35 yet, but he's definitely coming up.
Yeah, I mean, he called out Valdez when they were at 130. Now that Valdez didn't take that fight, but yeah, Shakur, his defense is so good because he knows how to keep his distance from him and his opponent. So he'll back up, and it'll be like a perfect timing to counter.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's probably like you said, he's the sleeper. He's probably not made a big name for himself yet in that division, but he's definitely up there. He's coming up. All right, who else do we got on the 135s?
I mean, we still got all the veterans. I mean, we've been talking about all these young guys, but the veterans are still there. They're still looking good. We got Linares, like you said, Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell probably should have won that fight, even though he got dropped. He came back and but I don't take nothing from Lars. He's still one of the veterans, like you said, in that division. Who else do we got?
Yeah, and he wants all the smoke with any of these guys. He even said, he's like, I want Haney, I want Ryan. He wants to smoke with anybody. Whoever wants it, they can get it.
I personally think that, like we said, the top two is hands down Lomachenko and Delfimo. I think those are the top two. And then we gotta put them and Haney in there too.
Yeah, well, those are the three champions right there.
Yeah, top three right there.
Well, Lomachenko ain't no champion no more.
Yeah, because he lost, but he's...
It's Devin Haney and Delfimo. Devin Haney got the BC. Delfimo got the franchise BC, and Ryan got he got one of the BCs. But what do you think about that with all these belts in the division?
I kind of don't like that there's so many belts. Like, they should just have a couple of champions, not a lot of champions. Like, there's like some belts that shouldn't even be worth mentioning, you know?
Just the four.
Yeah, just the four.
I feel like just the 4 world titles, and that's it.
Yeah, because they've been adding so many belts, especially to like the world championship belts, that they're not even worth mentioning. You know, like you either got those 4 or you don't got any.
Exactly. That's how I feel. You know, that's how I look at it. I feel like Devin Haney is a WBC champion. And Delfimo got the rest, and that's it. There's no other champions to me. You can have an interim belt, you can have a franchise belt, but at the end of the day, those world titles are the main, and there's only 4.
Yeah, that's why I do want to see a fight between Devin Haney and Delfimo, so they could be a real undisputed champion. To see who's the real undisputed champion in that division. I would love to see that fight next. Or like they said, Devin Haney's mandatory, Ryan Garcia. I would also like to see that fight. That's a good fight.
That's what I was just about to say. That's the mandatory right now. Let's see if WBC is going to keep their word and order that fight. They said they would. They're going to give Ryan a little bit of time to celebrate, which is fair. And then after that, they're going to send him the contract. And let's go.
Yeah, I seen Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis getting on it on Instagram and stuff. So that's also another fight that could be possible of happening. I think that fight probably...
That fight would do numbers.
I don't think that fight is going to happen anytime soon, though, just because they're 2 really big popular fighters.
Bro, that fight would do numbers. Ridiculous.
Oh, that's a
Floyd De La Hoya right there, for sure. That fight would do numbers. I think that's why they want to do it right now. You know, they're both in their prime, and why not? But the one that makes sense is Haney Garcia.
Yeah, because it's a mandatory.
Yeah.
And also they fought a couple of times with amateurs and they both beat each other. So I think it'd be a good fight. Just to see who's been more active, more experienced since they turned pro. Who's learned more? Who's a better professional fighter?
And that's what's gonna happen. And then the winner gets to face the winner from Loma and Teofimo rematch. Because you know there has to be a rematch, bro. There has to be a rematch. There has to be a rematch.
That
when,
fight
when you beat the
like
champ,
that.
when you beat the champ, you got to give him a rematch. That's it. They gave you an opportunity, so now it's your turn to return the favor, and they earned it. They earned the opportunity, especially Lomachenko. He earned that rematch.
Yeah, Lomachenko's been kind of quiet ever since that loss. I haven't really heard a lot about him. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know because did he even ask for a rematch?
I don't think he's asked for it officially. I think he's just laying low right now. I think he's really thinking about things, and I think he wants to see what his next move is going to be after his surgery. I know he has surgery, so I think that's probably why he's been a little bit quiet. And I think that's the smart thing to do, to be honest. After a loss, you kind of just want to be cool, calm, collected, and wait to see what happens, man. You don't want to be like all loud and all like cocky still, like you just took a loss. Like you take it like a man, and that's it.
I hope to see him back this year, 2021. I don't know if he should jump into right away a rematch or should he take a tune-up. What do you think?
I think he's ready for it right now. When you're on that level, I don't really believe in tune-ups. I believe like you're ready. You know that the break, being out of the ring, helps them guys when they get older. They come back rejuvenated because they got a little bit of rest on their body, a little break. For the young guys, not so much. For the young guys, you could just go and your body won't feel tired. But I think for the older guys, I feel like that might help them a little bit to take a little bit of time off of boxing. You know, come back rejuvenated, especially after surgery. You want to take it easy on the body, so I think that might help them. I think honestly, they're gonna make that fight, and it's gonna be like late during the year. I don't think Teofimo's gonna get back in the ring till like May.
Do you think Teofimo will fight before Lomachenko, like another fight before him, or do you think they're just gonna go straight to a rematch?
I think they're going straight to a rematch. That's my prediction, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's part of the his biggest payday right now too against Lomachenko.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see that rematch because I feel like the first fight Lomachenko didn't really prove what he had because he started off really slow, or maybe it was he was a little worried about his power, but he did start off really slow. He was basically not even throwing punches, and that's not what Lomachenko does. He's known for being fast punches, moving his ankles. You know, he's known for making his guys quit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That there has to be something wrong with him in that fight. There had to be, because that wasn't Lomachenko, and I don't really think he don't fear nothing, man. That man don't fear nothing. So I don't really think it was that he was scared of Teofimo's power and stuff like that. I don't really think that was true. I don't think he's scared of anything. I just think honestly something was really wrong with his shoulder, and I think like once the 6th round came, he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go for it. If my shit rips, it rips." But I'm gonna fucking start throwing punches, and I think that's just what happened. Because I think he was like, I ain't got shit to lose. I already pretty much lost this fight, but we'll see if I could probably stop him. Maybe that's what he was going for, a stoppage. He almost got it. Remember that 11th round?
Yeah, he was.
That 11th round, man. He had Teofimo all over that fucking ring, dude. He was just pounding him, and Teofimo recovered it and came back and won the 12th. But that 11th round, I thought that shit was over.
No, yeah, he was definitely pressing the fight ever since I think the 7th round. He started throwing more punches. Yeah, he definitely looked good after the 7th round, and I think he won every round after that. Teofimo was kind of in some, but I think he won every round after that. Maybe the last round, Teofimo took it. But yeah, he was definitely in that fight after the 6th round. He was actually throwing punches, and Teofimo, that's all I'm saying, that he lacks a little bit on defense because he was taking a lot of punches. But like you said, it's against Lomachenko. He's really fast. He moves the angles really good. I don't know. There definitely needs to be a rematch though, because it can't end like that. he needs to give Lomachenko his rematch, and Lomachenko gave him an opportunity to be a champion, undisputed champion.
That's what I'm saying, man. That fight needs to happen. Devin Haney Garcia needs to happen. Tank versus whoever. Bro, I'm telling you, this division, the future of boxing is in good hands, and that's all I care about right now. Because there's a lot of good fights to be made. There's a lot of talent. And even, we can talk about other divisions. We can talk about the 47s, bro. The 47s. And Canelo's shifting divisions, bro. He's going from 168 to 160, 175. Shit, he can probably do cruiser. And then the heavyweights with Joshua and Tyson Fury and Wilder, all them dudes. Bro, I'm saying boxing is in good hands for the next couple of years.
Yeah, boxing's definitely looking good right now. How do you feel about the YouTubers coming into it? You think that's going to bring more fans? You think that's kind of killing the sport?
No, I think it's definitely not killing the sport. I think it's helping it. I think it's bringing new fans in, and it's bringing the female fans and the young audience as well. All the kids that watch YouTube. You see it on TikTok. Me and you are both TikTok viral, and we see pretty much all our comments that we get. They're talking about Jake Paul. They're talking about Logan Paul. They're talking about Ryan Garcia and KSI and all them dudes. All the social media stars. And I think that they're now boxing fans because of that. And before that, they weren't. They were watching YouTube videos. So yeah. I think that's pretty cool, man. I like how they're bringing in new fans. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely helping the sport a little bit with like popularity wise. One thing I don't like is how a YouTuber can already challenge the greatest of all time. That's one thing I don't like, but that's like a whole another video to talk about. But yeah, but besides that, it's definitely helping the sport a lot, bringing a lot of these YouTube fans into boxing, because Logan Paul and Jake Paul have a lot of followers, so they are helping boxing. But I would kind of like to see them keep it like YouTubers against maybe YouTubers, or YouTubers against like other athletes, like he just be Nate Robinson. But yeah, fighting the GOAT of boxing, that's kind of
yeah, that's a little different. That's what I was gonna say. I couldn't believe when the fight was made. I was like, are they doing this for clout right now, just like to get attention real quick? Because we know Mayweather loves that shit. Yeah. And Logan Paul, he's a YouTube star, so he loves that shit. So I thought it was fake at first. I was like, nah, this is just like for clout, whatever. And we still don't know. It might just be for clout. Maybe they'll come out later and be like, oh, but like April Fools or some shit. But right now, they said it's a goal, so that's pretty crazy how a YouTuber, there's so many guys waiting in line for that Floyd fight, but a YouTuber comes in and takes it. That's wild.
Oh yeah, definitely. Logan Paul, is he deserving of that fight? A lot of people are mad because they feel like he doesn't deserve to fight the GOAT, but
of course he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't. But he has more following than any other fighter. So
he's 0-1 to KSI.
Yeah.
And then you fight Floyd. That's crazy, bro. Like, that's really crazy. But then again, Floyd ain't looking for no real fights no more. He's retired. Yeah, he's legit retired. He don't even have to train for Logan Paul. Like he said when he fought the Asian dude, he's like, I don't even have to train for 3 rounds or 6 rounds, whatever it was. I think it was 6. He's like, I don't even have to train for 6 rounds. He's like, I could just show up and do 6 rounds. And that's what he did.
He knocked
him out. So I feel like he's really retired, and I don't think he is really going to train for that fight. He's just going to show up, and whatever happens. Because I think it's an exhibition. So even if Mayweather happens to get knocked out by a miracle punch, it won't even go on his record. So he don't even care. But that's not going to happen. But I'm saying if it was to happen, like, it's not even a record fight. It's an exhibition fight.
Yeah, if you watch that Mike Tyson podcast, he basically told Logan Paul he was gonna get beat up, but he also said that it's boxing, anything can happen.
Exactly.
So, and that's what Logan Paul says. That's all I need to hear. And it is boxing, anything can happen, but
It's true.
that's the GOAT. I don't think nothing's gonna happen to the GOAT. No, he's been in there with.
I mean, that's what we want. That's what in our minds we want to think. But like at the end of it, if you really think about it, it's boxing.
Yeah, it is boxing.
It's boxing, and anything could happen, dude. Like you can get hit, and boom, you're out. Especially with the dude that big.
Yeah.
He's giving him a big old weight advantage. Like ridiculous amount of weight.
It's probably like 100 pounds or more.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and me and you being fighters, we both know like when we spar them heavyweights, we can feel the power difference and the weight difference. We're like, whoa.
Yeah, you're
like,
moving a lot more.
Yeah, you're trying to be careful, trying to avoid getting hit by them loaded shots that they take, because even if it's just sparring, like them dudes don't like to get hit by us. They get mad.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know. I think it's a good thing though that it's happening. It does bring fans in, even though there's like some people I don't like it, like Oscar De La Hoya. He's one of the people that doesn't like it. I mean, I hope to see him come back. That'll be a good one. But yeah, I think it's good. It is definitely helping the sport right now. Around like a couple years ago, boxing was kind of slowing down, but now I feel like it's been progressing a lot more with the 135 division. It's definitely getting a lot better. I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. Boxing right now is looking good. You know, like you said, we even got the YouTubers. We got the 135s. We got the 147s. We got the heavyweights. We got Canelo. And I know I just say Canelo because whoever he fights, it's gonna freaking sell, because that dude is a marketing like genius, just like Mayweather. Like he literally went and started his own promotion, and he basically like sold out pay-per-views. You know, his own promotions. He don't even need Golden Boy. He don't need any of them dudes. Does it himself.
If you're talking about Canelo, well, yeah, he's the face of boxing. Ever since Mayweather retired, he's the face of boxing. He does the biggest numbers in boxing right now. And then right behind him, I'm gonna say Manny Pacquiao. It's him and Manny Pacquiao with the biggest numbers right now in boxing. So, but Canelo is the face of boxing. He's the youngest. He's the strongest. He does the best numbers.
Speaking of Pacquiao, everybody wants to fight that man. What do you think he's gonna do next, man? I've been wondering. Like, I'm like, Pacquiao's still the champion at 147. Like, what the like? Who is he gonna fight? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, everybody's calling him out. Errol Spence called him out. Terrence Crawford called him out, and even Ryan Garcia called him out. Everybody wants Pacquiao. What do you think that means?
I mean, they know that it's Pacquiao's probably last year, so everyone wants to fight the legend. You know, Pacquiao's been keeping pretty quiet right now about who he's gonna fight next, but I personally think he's either gonna fight either Crawford or Errol Spence, just because I feel like those are the best right now at that division, and Pacquiao always fights the best, just like he fought Keith Thurman. He always fights the best. He's not ducking no one. Even at his age, he looked really impressive against Keith Thurman.
Yeah, in that fight, man, honestly, I didn't know what was going to happen in that fight. I always have faith in Pacquiao, but in that fight, I was like, man, I don't know if he can beat Keith Thurman. But we saw what happened. He dropped him in the first round. And then after that, he kept putting a beating on him. Even though it kind of looked like Thurman was coming back in the end, huh?
Yeah, it did kind of look like Thurman was pressing the fight a little bit towards the end, but he got dropped by Pacquiao, and I feel like that
was a deciding factor.
Yeah, it was really crazy when I seen Thurman got knocked out. Like I actually expected Thurman to win the fight, even by knockout, because Pacquiao, he's already getting older, but he still look good. So yeah, I'm actually excited to see him fight Errol Spence or Crawford. I think he'll still give both of those guys a good fight if he brings that same energy that he did with Thurman. Thurman and Spence are gonna be in trouble with Manny Pacquiao for sure.
Yeah, I feel like everybody was shocked. Everyone was shocked when Pacquiao dropped Thurman in the first round. Because I think everybody thought it was going to be over right there. Because Pacquiao is one of them dudes that has that killing instinct. And if he sees you hurt, he's going to go after you. And he did. He went after Thurman. He was like, he just started going after him. And I think Thurman caught him with like a good shot in the first round after he got knocked out. So then Pacquiao slowed down a little bit. But, I mean, yeah, it was a great fight. And I'm excited to see who he ends up picking to fight next.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see him this year. He's right now he's right behind Canelo, one of the biggest in boxing. So yeah, definitely a few fights this year. Canelo fights this year. We get a couple more 135 pound division fighters. It's gonna be a really exciting year in boxing. Well, we still don't know with all the COVID stuff happening, but I definitely want to see Manny Pacquiao back in the ring. I want to see Canelo back in the ring.
De La Hoya's coming back.
I would like to see him come back too, especially if it's going to be against Mayweather.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. They want Mayweather, De La Hoya 2, and Tank and Ryan in the undercard. That'd be dope.
That would be like the biggest pay-per-view ever.
That would break records.
Definitely.
That would break records. They would break their own record because they have Mayweather, De La Hoya has a record right now, I think, right? Or is it Mayweather Pacquiao? One of them.
It's Mayweather McGregor.
Mayweather McGregor got it?
Yeah, Mayweather McGregor has it.
That's ridiculous. That's wait. That's who's gonna fight Pacquiao. I forget.
Oh, it's supposed to be
McGregor is the one that's supposed to fight Pacquiao. Yeah. Now, a good thing you mentioned that because we almost forgot about that. It's supposed to be McGregor Pacquiao, so that's gonna be a good fight. I'm excited for that fight, and I think that fight is gonna happen. I saw a report on ESPN talking about fights that we want to happen in 2021, and that was one of them. So I feel like the fans are excited about that one, and I feel like people want to watch that one. So we'll see if it happens.
Yeah, I mean, before McGregor got a fight, I thought that was gonna be his next fight was against Pacquiao because they were both kind of promoting it. But now that he got a fight, maybe after he wins this fight, he's going back to boxing.
Yeah.
Going to be 0-2 because I don't think he's going to beat Pacquiao.
No, he won't beat Pacquiao. That's going to be a fight that...
It'll be exciting.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. The press conferences. Anytime you get a McGregor fight, that's a show, man. And people want to watch that. People like watching McGregor. They like his trash talk, and they like how he fights too. They just love the guy. And Pacquiao's a people's champion, so that's a good fight right there. And then we'll see if De La Hoya tries to come back. Yeah. He's been talking a lot of stuff, man. He said, I thought it was funny because, you know that he's salty about Canelo leaving him and leaving his promotions. He's salty about that because anytime they ask him about Canelo, he's just like, they were asking him if he would give Canelo a fight since he's coming back. Why not fight Canelo since they don't like each other? And he's like, yeah, you know what? That'll be a good deal, but why not fight the guy who beat Canelo? I started laughing. I was like, he's salty still, but hey, I'm all for it. De La Hoya Mayweather.
Yeah, I would love to see that rematch just because the first fight was good. Even though De La Hoya's been out way longer than Mayweather, the first fight was really close. So I would like to see that fight definitely. De La Hoya, he looks good when he's shadowboxing, when he's in the mids. He moves so good. Maybe his weight coming down a little bit. He's he looks a little heavy. Well, he's walking around almost 200 pounds now.
De La Hoya?
Yeah.
You think he's that heavy?
He looks kind of big, but he doesn't look like fat. He looks like he's got
he got a little bit of muscle. Yeah. I don't think he can be 200 pounds. He was probably like 70s, 80s. He looks kind of a small guy to be in the 200s. I feel like he still keeps shape.
Yeah, I mean, he does work out a lot. You could tell that he probably has like a home gym. He hits the bags all the time. He does like he stays in shape, but he looks heavy just because he looks like he's put on some size. He looks kind of big now. So, and Mayweather still looks the same. Mayweather's always walking around at the weight that he fights. So I feel like that's what has helped him out through his career. But it should be good. No, but I'm still really excited. Right now, I'm more excited about the 135-pound division than any other division. Even with like 147, I feel like the only good fight I want to see at that weight is Crawford Spence. But at 135, I want to see all these guys fight each other, But 147 just really Crawford spends.
Do you believe the hype about Leonard, Hearns, all them dudes back in the day? They're comparing them to the 135s right now. Teofimo, Devin Haney, Ryan. You know how they're comparing them to the fighters from back in the from the 80s. Hagler, Hearns, Leonard. Do you think they're the new Hagler, Leonard, or no?
Oh, I think that they definitely are. Like,
you think so?
Yeah, these guys are really exciting, and that's how they were back in the day with Leonard, Hagler.
But them dudes were fighting each other. That's the only difference. Them dudes fought each other. They all did. Duran, they all fought each other, bro. And right now, we can't really say that they're the next Leonard, Hagler, Duran, Hearns because they're not fighting each other. Them dudes fought each other in their prime. They were in their prime.
Yeah, that's probably why everyone wants to see these fights happen right now.
Exactly.
Because, like you said, they fought themselves in their prime.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference. Like, when Mayweather fought Pacquiao, they're not in their prime anymore. Or at least Pacquiao was in. That's why I do want to see these guys fight each other this year or maybe next year. Just so we can see who's really the best at 135 right now. Especially because, Lomachenko's already getting to that age where he might be leaving his prime. Even though he's really skilled, he might be at that age. So I definitely want to see him get that rematch this year. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. This is the last year that I think he has to get his rematch. I think if he gets his rematch next year, Teofimo will beat him. Because Teofimo, the more he fights, the better he gets. And I feel like with all these guys, the more they fight, the better they're going to get. And, I mean, Teofimo's a prime example. I mean, he just keeps getting better and better. And so does Ryan. And so does Haney. And all them dudes. The more they fight, the better they're going to get. So, if that's bad for the veterans, Linares, Lomachenko, Campbell, and others. But it's good for the young guys because they're just going to get better and better. And they're going to eventually just take Lomachenko and all them dudes out of the throne,
Yeah, that's why I want to see Lomachenko fight these guys this year or next year because I know he's already leaving his prime. So I do want to see him fight these guys this year or next year. Definitely a rematch with Teofimo, and then depending if he wins or loses, if he wins that fight, then I definitely want to see him go up against Devin Haney, maybe Gervonta, maybe Ryan Garcia. If he loses this fight, then he's probably gonna have to. Because I don't think there's gonna be a third fight with Teofimo and Lomachenko if he loses two, it's gonna be done. So then he's gonna probably have to get a tune-up before he jumps back into these guys.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, man, it's hard to say. We just keep talking about the 35 division because it's the most exciting division right now. And we wanted to make episode 1 of Face Off based on the 135 because this is the most exciting topic in boxing right now. So we wanted to talk about it. So here we are. We were talking about it. But now I'm going to ask you a question. If you had to rank them, how would you rank them?
All these guys are really good, but of course, hands down, number 1, Teofimo, just because he has almost all the bouts. Number 2, I would probably have to go with Devin Haney. He has another bout.
What?
Yes, number 2.
What?
I mean, people are sleeping on him. He does really good. He's good. Number 3 is gonna have to be Lomachenko.
You put Devin Haney over Lomachenko.
Lomachenko just is coming out of a loss.
Oh man.
For me, he still needs to prove himself that he still is up in the first 2.
I'm ranking you under me. That's best podcaster.
And then number 4, Gervonta Davis. 5, Ryan Garcia. And then Shakur, he's still up and coming, but once he proves himself, he's gonna be up. He's gonna be the best 135. I'll tell you that right now. I see him better than Teofimo, than all these guys. I have him up there right now. I feel like he's still gonna go up there slow, but once he's up there, maybe in a year or 2, he's gonna be the best at 135 for sure, hands down. That guy is skilled. His skills are complete. And then also he's in training camp almost always with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is one of the best fighters out there right now too.
Yeah, that's true.
What's your ranking? How do you rank these guys?
I gotta agree with you on number 1 because that's the top dog right now. He just beat Lomachenko and pretty decisively, unanimous decision. There's no question about that. He won fair and square, so he's got to be number 1. But number 2, I gotta put Lomachenko. I feel like the only reason why I'm putting Teofimo over him is because he beat him. But I still think he has the best resume at 135. He's got the best skill. I think he'll beat anybody under that I'm about to mention right now. And he might beat Teofimo in the rematch, to be honest. I feel like if it was true about the shoulder, we're going to find out in the rematch. And I think he might get his throne back, because we saw how Teofimo started fading in the later rounds. And if Loma starts doing what he does in the first couple rounds, he might make him fade earlier and take him out. But we'll see. That's who I have number 2, Lomachenko. Number 3 is a little bit harder, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying it, because before this I wasn't too big on this guy, but he proved me wrong about last week. Ryan Garcia, dude, I have him number 3 right now. Believe it or not, I have him number 3. I think he will beat Devin Haney and Tank. I think he can beat them dudes, bro. I really do. He's just long. He's sharp. Devin Haney throws really wide punches. He doesn't have power. He couldn't knock Gamboa out. He was laughing at Tank because he couldn't knock Gamboa out faster, and he couldn't knock him out. But I know a lot of people are gonna be like, they're gonna be laughing, but I got Ryan Garcia number 3. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Tank, Gervonta Davis. Number 5, we can put Devin Haney there by a little bit, just a little over Shakur, because I feel like Shakur still hasn't proven himself in the 35s yet. But I definitely agree with you on Shakur. I feel like he's definitely the future of boxing. He's gonna be in there with them guys in the future. Right now they're not even talking about him in the Leonard Hearns, Duran, Hagler. They don't even put him there. They said the 4 kings, and he's not one of them. But I just feel like, yeah, I mean, he's a little bit behind these guys, but in the future he's gonna be in there with them guys. But I'm actually gonna put him as honorable mention instead of ranking him. Honorable mention. Just because I don't think he should be in the rankings yet. I don't even think he's above Linares, and maybe not even above Luke.
Yeah.
But I'll just put him as honorable mention for now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I told you that I see him in 2 years being the best at 135. But right now, he still needs to prove himself. He still needs to get there. But I do see him in 2 years being the best at that division. I see him having the most skill.
The most skill for sure. And probably the best defense.
Yeah, he does lack a little bit of power, especially against Tank and Teofimo.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think those guys will be able to hit him with those harsh shots that they hit all these other guys with. His defense is just too good. His distance is just too good. They're gonna have to really crack him good for him to get down.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I have him as the best 135 in 2 years. Right now, he needs to prove himself, but in 2 years, I think he'll be up there with them guys, if not the best at that weight.
And I know we're talking about 35. All these guys are 35 right now. But in the future, do you see these guys moving to 40, moving to 47, maybe even 54? I feel like some of them dudes are big. Like Teofimo, he's big, man. I see him going up to 60. And fighting at 60, bro. Maybe even higher. These dudes are that big. These dudes come down from 190, 170. Bro, and we're also forgetting Rolando Romero. He's a 135er too, and he has an interim belt at 135, which a lot of people thought that he shouldn't have won that match. What do you think? A lot of people thought he shouldn't have won that fight.
Yeah, I don't put Rolando in it
at all.
Yeah, at all. He
should have lost his fight.
Yeah,
huh?
and I see no skill in him. I just see like wild power shots, no skill. So I feel like if he fights any good boxer out there, even these guys are just coming up, these good amateurs are coming up, I think they could beat him. I just feel like he right now has been fighting good people for his resume that he could knock out. Because he does have a good power, but his skill is like...
So we'll just give him credit for that beating he put on Ryan Garcia at the sparring. That's it.
I mean, even in that sparring, they only showed a little bit, you know, like just his highlights. I haven't seen the full video yet. Have you seen it?
Yeah, there's a full video. It was a good sparring, but I feel like Rolando probably got the better of him like towards the end, which was like the clutch rounds. I don't know if Ryan went over there not in good shape, but it looked like Romero was taking it to him like towards the end as well. But I don't know. It's just sparring, you know.
Yeah, and
so that's why I said, should we just give him credit for that sparring and that's it?
No, but also Ryan Garcia, as a fighter, he's gotten a lot better since, especially after he switched with Eddie as a coach. He's gotten a lot better. In this last fight, he wasn't really coming up with his chin all the way up. He was tucking up. He was keeping his distance. I feel like Eddie has been doing a really good job with him.
Oh yeah, and I feel like that's what I was telling you, man. Like for the younger guys, the more they fight, the better they're getting.
Yep.
The better they're getting. Because I remember 2 years ago, if you would have told me 2 years ago that Ryan Garcia will be my number 3, I'd be like, you crazy.
Yeah.
I never thought he would get as good as he has gotten. You know, because he's improved a lot. 2 years ago, if you would have told me that, I would have been like, bro, you crazy, man. He will never be on the same level as Tank or Lomachenko or them guys. But now, he's definitely on that level.
Yeah.
He has arrived.
Definitely. I actually had him more as a internet star, a social media celebrity.
A YouTube boxer?
Yeah, YouTube boxer before he actually beat Campbell.
Me too.
But with this fight, especially because he knocked him out, you know, he finished with a body shot. Lomachenko couldn't do that. Linares couldn't do that. Like, Luke Campbell is a gold medalist, you know. He's a really good fighter, and Ryan Garcia was able to stop him with a body shot. That just shows that he's up there.
Exactly. I mean, I used to get so much hate on TikTok because of the shit that I used to say about Ryan. Because he hangs out all the time with Logan and them, and you know, like all his fans are YouTubers and TikTokers and social media people, and like I didn't used to take him serious, but he fought a legitimate opponent and won, so he's definitely up there with them guys now.
I mean, yeah, he definitely has a lot of hype around his name, and then now that he's up there as one of the top 35. He has a really bright future ahead of him. Really bright future. Really good skills, really good attributes in the ring. Now with Eddie, I feel like this coach is gonna make him go to the next level.
And he's even gonna get better with Eddie Reynoso, I believe. Eddie Reynoso, trainer of the year. You know, he made Canelo who he is, man.
Definitely.
Watch Canelo's early fights, bro. You would never even think it's the same guy that you're watching now. That's crazy, and that's like, dude, like, a lot of people don't understand how trainers are a big part of boxers, man. Trainers are really the major part in boxers. Look at Triple G, man. He changed trainers, and now he's out here looking like Mayweather, moving his head and shit, like shit that you never see back then, that him doing. And he's like 38, 39, so it's like, bro, it's never too late. Trainers could really change a fighter. So it's like you were talking about Eddie Reynoso, I think he changed Ryan's whole style and made him a whole different fighter, and now like he's looking great, and I believe like he's just gonna get better and better. So I don't know, man. The 135s is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely looking really exciting. Yeah, like you say with these trainers, man. I definitely think that's why, like, after they fight, they always say thank you to the whole team, their coaches, all their staff, everyone, because they know that that's a big part of their win. Because these guys help them out through the whole training camp, whether it's their diet, whether it's their physical training, their athletic training, their strength training, their boxing training, everything. I mean, these guys have a good team behind them. That's how they get so good. That's why when they're first coming up, they really don't get that type of experience yet from these coaches, because a lot of these guys don't have an athletic trainer, they don't have a strength trainer, they don't have a speed trainer. And nowadays they have all of that stuff. They have a good athletic trainer, they have a good speed trainer, they have a trainer for almost everything, and they have a good diet. And I feel like the diet is one of the most important things in boxing, because some of these guys that go up a lot of weight and lose a lot of weight, eventually that's going to get to them, that's going to slow them down. Like you said, Teofimo, if he gets up, eventually he's going to have to leave 135 if he is dropping 30-40 pounds to get down to 135. That's going to be a really hard weight for him to make. That would drain him, that would get to him later on in his career.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Mayweather taught us that. Mayweather, he used to pretty much walk around the weight that he used to fight at. Towards the end of his career, he used to walk around 5'10", at the most probably 8 pounds. You know, but Mayweather was also, you know, he was kind of a small guy for his weight, for 147. He was because he went. There you go. He's one of the guys that went up from 135. Mayweather started at 135, and he went up to 47. Two went up to 54. So he was kind of a small guy. Which just brought to my mind, dude. Like, if we're living in another world, and Mayweather, 135 Mayweather, was fighting with these guys right now, if he was in the same era, 135 Pretty Boy Floyd, does he wipe them all out, or are these guys good enough to compete with 135 Pretty Boy?
I think they're good enough to compete with him.
What?
Yeah.
135 Pretty Boy?
I think some of them he can wipe out, but I think Lomachenko will give him a really good fight.
That'll be an interesting fight, 135.
Because they're both really good with their IQ inside the ring, so I think that'll be a really good fight. I think he will beat like Tank and Devin Haney. Yeah, he will beat those guys easily. Yeah,
Ryan.
Yeah, his defense is too good, and those guys don't really have a good defense.
Him and Shakur would be an interesting one, because that would be like a really technical.
Yeah, that'd be a really technical.
It would be kind of boring, but I mean, not for us, because we'll love it.
That'll be a good chess match.
Yeah, we'll just be in there like interesting, but for the fans, probably it won't be too good. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Somewhat agree with you. I feel like nobody touches Floyd at 135. I remember watching, like, till this day, I still watch his fights at 135, and he was just ridiculous, man. Floyd Mayweather was ridiculous at 135. Like, you watch Money Mayweather, and he's ridiculous. But you watch Pretty Boy, and you're like, wow, this guy's throwing punches in bunches, and he's still defensive at the same time. That's crazy, man. Like, you don't really see that a lot nowadays. Like, you either see defense or you see offense. But Floyd Mayweather, he would be defense and offense at the same time. That's crazy.
No, yeah, that's why I'm saying that the only ones that really have a chance to taking him his first out at that weight would have to be either Lomachenko or, I think that's probably it. The only one that I would really like to see, maybe Shakur.
What about Pacquiao?
I would really like to see prime Pacquiao against prime Mayweather.
That would have been a good one.
Because around
I feel like 140 Pacquiao versus maybe 140 or 147 Mayweather. 140 Mayweather was good as well.
Yeah. But around when Pacquiao was knocking everyone out.
Yeah, that was when he was 140 moving.
And that's when Mayweather was, I don't know if he was ducking him, but he
was king.
He didn't want to fight Pacquiao though. Around that time, like.
Well, I don't believe that he didn't want to fight him. I really truly believe that it was politics.
Yeah. I don't know politics. Because
Bob Arum and De La Hoya, they don't want to work together, bro.
Because they always asked him about it. Hey, what about Pacquiao? He always, oh wow, you know, he always changed the conversation. He always never wanted to talk about Pacquiao.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to get into it. Be like, I have to talk about this shit again. Yeah. Like, it's politics, bro. Like, I can't do shit about it. But who knows? I mean, who knows? We'll never know anymore.
Yeah.
That sucks. You know, we know who won the fight when they fought at what they were,
Yeah.
but you know, we'll never know who would have won at 140 or 147 in their prime. You know, and that kind of sucks, but oh well. You know.
Yeah, I always wanted to see that fight. Like, I always wanted to see that fight happen. Mayweather, Pacquiao, both of them in the prime. That's when Pacquiao was beating Margarito. He was beating all these guys. He was knocking them all out. Ricky Hatton. That's around the time I wanted to see this fight happen. It happened like a couple years later, and Pacquiao was already had got knocked out by Marcus, right?
No. When he fought Mayweather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. After that Marcus fight, Pacquiao kind of
he started fading.
Even though he looked good against Thurman, but after that Pacquiao fight, after the Marquez fight, he kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that fight, if it would have happened in their prime, it would have been a whole different story.
Definitely.
I don't know if Pacquiao would have won either, but I'm saying the fight would have been a whole different story. There would have been punches. There would have been a lot of punches. And the fight we saw in 2015, it was like rarely some action. It was a chess match. Mayweather countering, and Mayweather like just picked him apart, you know, basically. But
yeah, it was basically one-sided. Mayweather controlled the whole fight. He won almost every round, even though Pacquiao said that he did hurt his hand. What do you think about that? I think he was actually hurt.
I mean, we'll never know. I mean, fighters sometimes they can't take an L, man, and they have to come up with an excuse. I'm not saying Pacquiao did that, but a lot of fighters nowadays, they do that, you know. They can't take the L like a man. You know, they have to come up with like, oh, something happened, or like blame somebody else, but they don't ever blame themselves. But oh well, that's a conversation for another day. You know, today we wanted to come out and talk about the 35s, and I believe we did that. I mean, I don't think there's anything we really left off. I mean, that division is stacked, and the future of boxing right there, whether they stay at 35 or move up, I would still believe that division, that's the one. That's the future of boxing right there.
Yeah, most definitely. 135 is looking the most exciting for me right now, just because they have the most talent in one weight class. All these other weight classes have like maybe one or two that's talented and has a good following. All these guys have a good following, and they're all talented. That's why I definitely want to see these guys fight each other soon.
2021. That's when they about to fight. 2021, man.
This year.
They gotta fight this year. This year and next year, we gotta see. Oh shit, we gotta see all kinds of crazy fights this year and next year. But yeah, man, 2021. 2021. How's your 2021 been, man?
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
It's getting better. Every day we're getting better, you know.
I think it started shitty.
Well, with this whole thing going on, yeah, but
yeah, man.
I think we're on.
Bro, that's crazy, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole politics stuff. I don't really want to get into that stuff.
Bro, let's get into that stuff. Nah, I'm just kidding, but dude, we're living in a crazy world.
Yeah, right now all the times.
With the politics and people storming the Capitol and the White House, bro, like, that's crazy, man. That's wild. Like, I never would have thought anybody could go in there and do all that stuff. Like, I was even talking to Coach Steve the other day, and he was talking to me about that, and I was like, has that ever happened in the history? And he's like, no, never. He's like, that's the first time anybody has ever done that. He's like, outside, yes, but not inside. I'm like, I'm surprised nobody. It wasn't worse.
Yeah.
Shit. They went in there and caused all that chaos and destruction. I mean, and only one person. I mean, that's one person's life, but only one person died, man.
Yeah.
And several was injured, but that's just wild, man. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, I agree. It's totally crazy that people can actually take over the White House, you know?
Yeah.
and like supposedly it's like one of the best. The U.S. has one of the best everything. Army, they have the most money, they have the best economy, they have the best everything, but the White House got taken over. That's kind of like, and I mean there's a lot of politics and the race behind it, but that's
we don't want to get into all that, but we already know how it would have been if our race or a different race was to do this. Bro,
the army would have came in. Like,
it would have been wild. So we would have had SWAT in there, and it would have caused a world war. But that's something we're not gonna get into. But 2021 for you.
Yeah.
But hopefully it gets better. Hopefully it gets better from here. That's another guy that needs to learn how to take an L. Mr. J. Trump. He needs to learn how to take his L and go get the hell home. You know what I'm saying? Because that's some BS. How you gonna tell people to go storm the White House, bro? That's crazy.
Yeah, he needs to.
He don't even live there. He's renting. Yeah. That's wild. But oh well. Episode 1, Face Off. We're gonna put out a lot of content this month and next month and in the future. This is just episode 1, so if you like us, if you like what we're about, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, share, everything to help us out. We appreciate y'all. And if you're from TikTok, I love you. TikTok is my favorite app. Appreciate y'all. If you're from TikTok, thank you for the support. Keep showing us love. Both of us on TikTok, Real Sabroso and
Ready Eddie,
Real Sabroso. You already know. Follow us on there. Follow us on Instagram, on anything, and just help us out. Share, subscribe, and stay tuned for a lot more boxing talks. And we're gonna have people in here talking with us, and just all kinds of stuff. Comment what you guys want us to talk about next on episode 2. Comment with ideas, whatever. I mean, we're pretty much open to anything. I mean, this podcast is open mic. Like, we're not just gonna talk about boxing. We're gonna talk about everything. Other sports too. We talk about basketball. We talk about soccer. We'll talk about football. Like anything, shit going around in the world. Like, we're open to anything. So
make sure you guys like and subscribe to our channel. That's the first thing. This podcast, we're hoping to grow it fast, so make sure you like, subscribe, share it, get this thing
we're going all the way.
Yep. And also make sure you all of our TikTok followers, make sure you follow us on this YouTube channel, because this podcast is definitely going to go up. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and enjoy it. Like JR said, we're definitely going to talk about a lot of different things, not just boxing. So make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Bang.